Okay, welcome everyone. Khaldor's Underdog Cup. Here we are. So I can finally talk about this tournament a bit in an actual match. We have the KD Agents going up against the Dancing Clowns in our first group, a best of 3. So what is this? I already talked in the video about it, but you might have missed it. So I thought, hey, it would really be a cool idea to support the grassroots a little bit more than we've been doing so far. I've always casted the occasional HeroesLounge match. We've done some, low division games that were just funny. The Wood League Warriors and things like that. But I felt there's so many teams that are really regular playing the game, and they don't normally have a chance to really play in tournaments, because when they're going into a big prize money tournament, they're just always going up against heavy hitters, right? And I thought, hey, there's probably also an element of ladder anxiety to all of this. So I just partnered with HeroesLounge for this, and I said, like, guys, what do you think? We're gonna create a tournament where only Division 2 and Division 3 teams can participate, and then we'll just have some fun with this, see if the teams are enthusiastic about it, see how it also lands with people that are watching, and just show a little bit more, something that people can a bit more relate to, and give those guys a chance to play in tournaments with a little bit of prize money. I've put 150 euros up for this, so this isn't really like a huge amount or anything. It's a bit of pizza money that you can win for the team. But it's still something, and it was actually really cool because tons of teams have signed up, way more than expected. We selected 8 teams, so this is like a test balloon for us. We want to see how this works out with the teams, with the viewers, and then we might do more in the future. But this now is the first match of our first group, so the 8 teams have been sorted in 2 groups, and the top 2 out of each group will advance into a bracket and then play through that. So we have Underdog Pass as our first map in the best of 3 series. Once again, there is one simple rule when it comes to drafting, and that is that you can only play hero once. So most people should be familiar with this right now. And I think this is still fine, even for the amateur leagues here. But yeah, huge shout out also to HeroesLounge, obviously. Guys, if you're unfamiliar with that, if you want to play in a bit more of a competitive environment, you should definitely check them out. We're going to talk about them later too. But HeroesLounge.gg, they have a nice Discord where you can ask questions, you can sign up as a player, as a team. So if you don't know them yet, I honestly don't know why, but you should definitely check them out, and you can participate in tournaments like this or just join a team for the league. We might see some interesting comps and also some interesting heroes. Immediately when I talked for the first time on YouTube about it, there were a couple of players within Division 2 and 3 that jumped into the comments and just immediately said, like, you know what? People will fear my Nazebo, and I was just already there like, oh god, okay. We got the Nazebo 1 trick here. But it could be pretty cool. So we got Rhaegar on the side of the KD Agents, and we get Hanzo for Underdog Pass. Anubarak taken, as usual, one of the heroes that can annoy the opponent a lot around the objective and try to get the prisoners. Brightwing, Hogger for the side lane. So I'm actually looking forward to this. Like, a lot of the guys here will be like Diamond and Masters level, just to give you guys a bit of a frame of reference here. We haven't included Division 1 in this, because in Division 1 you have a lot of teams in Division 1, and there's a little bit of a gap when you're looking at the top 50% and the bottom 50%. But there's also a lot of teams in there that just have top players that you would see in all of the other tournaments that we create. And they would then farm the tournament again, so maybe we can find some compromise for the future. But the idea was really to give teams a little bit of exposure that usually don't get it as much. So now that we have this all in the context of a tournament, I'm pretty excited to see who comes out on top. We got Diablo and Blaze for the front line. A couple of these guys, by the way, should ring a bell. For example, the KD Agents, they have been featured in the past in multiple games. So if you really watch all of the videos that I put out on YouTube, for example, some of the players there should ring a bit of a bell, and you might have seen some of the teams there. The Dancing Clowns, the team name is actually like Jelly's Dancing Clown, so Jelly is the captain, Jellyfish, but that didn't quite fit onto my scoreboard, so I shortened it slightly. We got Junkrat and we got Genji for the damage, so you have also a bit more CC coming out whenever Anubarak is making his play. And then last but not least, on the side of the Agents, what do we get from White Tiger? I mean, they did a bit more damage. Hanzo alone is not going to cut it here on Underdog Pass. So let's see what they can actually pull off there. Final pick is a Thrall. Triple front line for the blue team. Ladies and gentlemen, let's go. Game number 1, the Underdog Cup with Underdog Pass. Game number 1 on the left side, the Agents with Simply on Diablo. We got Kratodel on Blaze, Kenny on Hanzo, White Tigers playing Thrall, and last but not least for the blue team, we got McGiblets on Rhaegar. So we're going full smork over here. We got the double orc play from the blue team, and then over on the right side, we got Yatma on Junkrat. We got a Nuburak played by a Jellyfish, the captain himself, Elixir with Brightwing, Mementos on Genji, and Casado is playing Hogger in game number 1. So, we are playing a GSL style system, in case you guys are familiar with that. If not, so A plays versus B, C versus D within the group. The 2 winners will face each other. The winner of that match is automatically qualified as the first out of the group. The 2 losers face each other. The loser of that match obviously is already out of the competition. And then the loser of the winner's match and the winner of the loser's match face each other to determine the final spot that makes it out of the group. So all in all, we have 5 matches on this, all of them best of 3s, and then once that we're heading into the bracket phase, we're going to look at a few more best of 5s. So, with that, now we have on regards to the lane split down at the bottom of the map, Junkrat, the one that faces off against Blaze. This sheep is so dumb, by the way. It's like one of when it comes to mounts, like, I kind of love it. It is so stupid. Like, it is definitely a retarded sheep. So, and yes, I said the R word. But yeah, if you look at that sheep, there's nothing else you can say about that sheep. But it's kind of glorious. So yeah, I love it. Good mount there. The cool thing about Hogger, as usual, can get the camps pretty easily. They are both of the teams very, very quick, by the way, to lock in their side lane camps. So I already like this quite a lot. Up to the top lane, we're having Thrall doing his thing currently against 2. Genji with the pleb mount over here. Oh, yo. I'm not quite sure if I can leave that standing without a comment. But yeah, pleb mount on Genji, the poverty horse, as others may call it. And yeah, off we go. A little bit of pushing here already. Okay, so mid lane, just a typical take the camps down. Everybody's just poking and prodding a little bit. The slight rotations that Genji can of course now set up to shift the balance a bit. I mean, particularly up at the top lane when you think about it, where we now have Thrall against Hogger as the 1v1. And the blue team is currently doing pretty well here. They defended the mercenary push in the middle quite easily, and now their owner already pushing down the wall. They're getting some really good damage in. Damn, they nearly have the first tower already destroyed, and that gate is also super low. It's the first one to fall. Thrall trying to stack on level 4. But that is a pretty solid start for them right now. So, yeah, not bad. Bit of structural damage. I mean, again, it's like it's small advantages right in the early game, but over time, that's what will add up. Now, once the objective actually spawns, I'm curious to see if Nuburak is going to make a bit of a play for it and tries to lock that in early and get an advantage here. How they're gonna play this one out. Yeah, the Sleepy Cloud, I'll let that slide. I mean, so far, honestly, the only disappointment when it comes to mounts has been Genji. And he is an Overwatch hero, so he's in disappointment either way. Kudos to the teams, by the way, to be very disciplined right now around their camps. We've seen a lot of teams in the amateur scene that don't do that. At least not consistently, and so already a big plus that they're doing exactly that. But with that, we now have the next attack coming in. They're trying to go for Brightwing, and the Fruit Fly is actually getting a little bit low here. And yep, there we go. Brightwing gets slapped around a bit. The Fruit Fly goes down. Awesome, good job, and that's kill number 1 in the game. So the blue team already looking for a follow-up, trying to go for a Nuburak here, who might even be in trouble, but gets out, still had the borrow charge, so yeah, he's still fine. Maybe a little bit optimistic trying to Hearth there. They were trying to interrupt him, I suppose, but weren't able to connect the shots from Genji. Sorry, from Hanzo. Or that would have been, I think, brother against brother right now. Topside defense is still going strong. Blaze is already pushing down at the bottom of the map, so there is an enormous amount of pressure that is slowly starting to pop up against the clowns. By the way, I haven't seen any of them dancing yet. If you call yourself the dancing clowns, then at some point you just gotta dance around the core or something. I will, like a B-step counts, or just a typical taunt dance. Whatever you do, but if you call yourself dancing clowns, I think we can all agree that it is actually pretty important that you are going to make at least a couple of sexy moves. Like, channel your inner Beyonce, like, I don't know. But with that name, I have certain expectations. Now, after they got a second kill, now the play for the objective, so they're gonna try and rock that one in. Thrall is, by the way, nearly done with this quest. He's sitting at 4 stacks right now. Blaze and Hogga are still going for the camps. So far, so good. Nobody's really gotten a lead on the objective. I mean, they were trying to go for it 1 or 2 times, but they haven't been able to get any of that done yet. Hanzo sitting down at the bottom. Here comes Junkrat. Okay, went on level 7 for the Dirty Trickster, as you can already see. And Nubarak, by the way, with a full-on plating build up to now. Hasn't tried to be cheeky around the objective yet either. So I mean, to be fair, the red team is currently in a bit of a defensive position. It's mostly the blue team that's making the moves. Nice little dodge by Diablo initially, but he gets hit by the next stun. He's still able to walk out of this without any big problems. That triple front line of the blue team, it can be pretty nasty. I mean, there's a lot of stuns and CC that they're already stacking there. So they have a lot of potential to do serious work on this. But now the progress is also starting and the agents are looking good. Diablo is stacked in the fight, gets immediately targeted. The arrow hits Brightwing in the back, but Diablo is getting a little bit low. The bunker's already on the ground, and here comes the Ancestral from Rhaegar as Diablo re-engages and tries to make the play for Genji. Shielded, Sundering, beautiful hit. Level 10 kicked in for the blue team, and Brightwing falls as a result of Diablo's lightning breath. No heroics for the clowns, and they really gotta back off here. They lose the objective. There's nothing anymore they can do about it. Great timing for the agents. Just before level 10 hit, they engaged in the battle and were then able to use their heroics to win not only the fight, but also the objective. The Sundering of Thrall in particular, coming in from White Tiger, that hit hard. He connected with 4 at this point. So, yeah, that was pretty sweet. So, with 3 kills to 0 and the first objective locked in, we're gonna have the blue team trying to take the first fort out. So, let's see if they can actually take one. I mean, the one in the middle is already taking damage because the wall was destroyed previously. Both teams now with level 10. And look at that, Genji actually went for the Dragon Blade. Nice. So, let's see what he can do with that. Ah, the good old times. Uther Genji, Dragon Blade with Divine Shield. Those were the days. Yeah. Junkrat at the bottom also trying to defend. They did a good job in the middle. Save the fort for now. Oh, that jet propulsion went nowhere. Oh, but that arrow hit home. Oh, nice. Great arrow from Kani. And then the follow-up from Blaze for the kill. Junkrat is down, and since they still have 3 heroes down here, they might be a... Oh, beautiful dodge now also from Rhaegar. Damn, they're turning to Juke Masters over here. Earlier it was Diablo that just easily sidestepped a few of those hits from Nubarak, and now we see the same from Rhaegar. And they back off. They're actually not griefing for the bottom fort either. They should still move in and take it out at some point, of course, but they weren't willing to sacrifice any heroes here. And they're looking good. I mean, they've done damage in the middle, they've done damage at the bottom of the map. They have a 1-level lead now. The red team hasn't been able to get a single kill yet. When you look at the damage numbers, Genji easily leading the charge here. Way ahead of everyone else. I mean, nobody's even close. That doesn't help you, though, if you can't land the final hits. So, yeah, that's the problem. But, well, as it stands, the attempt to go for the bottom fort is already here. Junkrat, the only defender, and okay, he moves out. Thrall is also quite patient right now. He's currently sitting at 5 stacks, and he hasn't used the wolf since. So now that he is this heavily on his 5 stacks, he's definitely going to try to make sure that he's connecting the last one. So a lead up stun from Blaze would come in pretty handy for him here. So yeah, he wants to complete this. Maybe already a little bit late on this. Oh, nice! There it is. 8 minutes 50 seconds in, and Thrall finally locked it in, so good for him. Has that on level 13. We're actually getting him with the Frostwolf's Grace. Both teams now on 13 talents. And still the play. So here comes the next hit, and the Nubarak is gone. Yeah, I gotta say, the KD agents already making a pretty good case for being one of the favorites over here. At least on their first map, they are absolutely running the show here on the clowns. So the next objective is up. Thrall has started to attack the top though, and nobody's defending right now. Blaze is on his way and will try to shut him down. But that's some serious damage that he's done. The wall is gone. The problem is more so that with the first fort destroyed and the second one having taken tons of damage in the middle, the second objective for the blue team would definitely not go over too well for their opponents. So, yeah, a little bit of... I was about to say, they interrupt on the channel, but unfortunately for them, before the Chain Lightning bounced to Genji, he actually connected it. So, yeah, there's that. Okay, so, in the meantime, we have the... Oh, careful, next little play here, yeah, Casado, here comes the Shockwave, and yeah, not really too much that he could do with that. Blaze is at the top and having a field day on that fort. So while this fight is going on and might finally yield a kill for the red team, topside Blaze is doing nice damage. The Cocoon on Rega, not really a dumb idea because that would remove Ancestral. The problem is they couldn't get anybody low enough for that to really be a threat. There's the arrow again and the barbecue! And the fruit fly is gone. Brightwing is dead. 6 kills to 0. Oof. Agents, ladies and gentlemen. Simply is now moving in. Okay, moves back out. Top side. That fort has taken tons of damage, but Casado is finally able to shut that down. At the bottom of the map. Now they're going for the boss too. They are gonna have level 16 soon, but this is still... Okay, they see Hogger at the top. So, yeah. Even with Genji sniffing this out, it's gonna take Hogger a while to really arrive. So I don't think that anybody can interrupt this. So the timing for them actually works out quite nicely. They have the information about Hogger topside. Blaze already moved down to the bottom. They knew that they were about to hit level 16. And this is really just nice timing what they're currently displaying here. They're not waiting for level 16 and then slowly get people together. They are just coming in before level 16 hits. They know they have still a numbers advantage because they see people sitting at the top side for the red team. Then they make their play. And so far, this has all been working out extremely well for them. At the top, they got to deal with these pushes, but now we have another objective for the blue team. And on top of that, also down here at the bottom, the boss is still wreaking havoc and is forcing a reaction out of the Dancing Clowns, who are still down 1 talent and 1 level. So very dominant performance on Aldrich Pass for the blue team. And they will easily destroy the 2 remaining forts now. Question is just simply what else they are going to be able to do. Diablo is already sitting at the side just waiting for any fool to come in there. But yeah, the fort is immediately gone. Not even a hit. Not even a hit from the cavalry. Top side, yeah, they're going to try and take maybe not a key. Oh, that Riptire blown to pieces before it could blow the minions out. Oh, that hurts. Yeah, things are not going well for them. That is a tough one. Erst hatten sie kein Glück und dann kam auch noch Pech dazu. 6 kills to 0. Finally level 16 talents. Maybe now they can do something, but look how quickly that fort or that keep is losing its hit points. And Blaze isn't even here. Blaze is sitting at the top and is trying to do the exact same thing here. And there's a huge minion wave too. So he gets pushed back by Genji, but this is still not looking too great. The keep in the middle has taken damage. They keep at the top. They will probably be able to save it, barely. But this means that now 2 of the keeps are insanely low. And the only thing that has been damaged structure-wise on the blue team side is the fort at the top. So that's all. Cam still being taken by the teams whenever they can. But the KD agents, they're definitely doing a great job. They're playing with 2 American players, by the way, as far as I know. Kani and Giblets are both playing from NA. So if you are in North America and you're wondering if you can also participate in HeroesLounge as an NA player, that's definitely possible. So as I said before, you should and could definitely check them out here. Yeah, so as I said, HeroesLounge.gg. But it doesn't really matter if you're from Europe or from NA. If you're willing to play cross-server, you can definitely do that. These guys have been playing with them already for quite a while here, and I mentioned it in the past, but you don't need a full team. You can sign up as an individual player there. And if you have any additional questions, check out the website. They also have their Discord linked, which is obviously perfect if you have any question that you would like to ask. And Nuburak gets murdered. That's kill number 7 now. And they are hoping, of course, for a little bit more. They are starting to chase the rest of the team, and they face off against Hogger next. Sundering! Hogger was already spinning back out, so that didn't really concern him too much, but a second kill would have gone a long way to potentially even end the game. Should probably move towards the middle. Oh, they get Hogger too. Okay, now they might even go for the game. Go towards the middle and take the keep out at least. They have level 20, and with 2 armor shields removed, I mean, they played super safe now, but I think they could have ended here. You have a 5 versus 3, you have level 20 already, a bit more decisive at this point, and I believe they could have ended it. With 2 armor shields removed, definitely possible. I suppose there's a boss at the top they could take, there's an objective that they could go for too, so if you really want to play it safe, then by all means. It's nearly a perfect game if they ended like this. 0 deaths on their side. They lost some structures though. They didn't lose a fort, but they lost the 2 towers and also the gate. But with this boss, they should try and end. I mean, it's a 2-level gap. It's a huge window until the red team has their own level 20 talent. So this is a great opportunity. Arrow and the play from Diablo with a Hellgate. Junkrat is dead, so is Anubarak. And I suppose so are the hopes and dreams of the dancing clowns. The KD agents go through them like hot butter through cheese as they destroy hero after hero. Hogger falls next. That's 11 kills now. And the boss is already marching towards the core. This is definitely going to be the end of it. Nicely done in game number 1. Fantastic first game by the KD agents. And the Dancing Clowns, they have to buckle up a little bit if they want to turn this in game number 2 and force a 3rd map in this series. Because at this point in time, it is definitely the blue team that is absolutely running the show here. Great play. Don't lose anyone towards the end either. And that's a 1-0 lead for the blue team in our first series of the Underdog Cup. GG.
Before we head into game number 2, make sure that you subscribe to the channel if you haven't done it yet so you don't miss out on any future content here on Khaldor TV.
Game number 2, Infernal Shrines, the second map. The KD agents are in the lead, and boy, they've run a clean first game. Very impressed. If they can perform consistently on that level, we have a serious contender for the group victory in our first group, in Group A. So we'll see. Carrigan gets banned. We're going into Infernal Shrines now as our second map. So what are the Dancing Clowns now going to do in order to turn this around? I mean, they gotta check something out here. Something has to change. Now, maybe the first map was just like, okay, didn't really flow for us from the beginning. We were on the back foot, and we've never really been able to break through this. Maybe with a different composition and a different style, they can pull that off now. Quick reminder, heroes are only allowed to be played once. So every single hero that you just saw on the first map is not going to be played again. Depending on how deep your hero pool is, that could for some of the guys be a little bit of a problem. If you have a lot of one-tricks that are playing with you, then it makes things obviously a little bit dangerous. But time will tell. And again, these are best of 3 series. So with how many heroes do we have in the pool? 89. Yeah, it's usually unlikely that players are running out of heroes completely in the best of 3 series. If you talk best of 5, best of 7, that it might become a bit of a concern. It's going to be interesting what happens in the bracket phase when we have best of 5s. But yeah, so we got Leo and we got Muradin as our front line. Muradin as a very early pick here on Infernal Shrines. Also, yeah, interesting. I mean, Diablo's already out and Nubarak is out because they were played. You have Jojo banned. So, Muradin, yeah, sure. Vala. I'm already interested in what Vala is going to play here. Every single time I see Vala on Infernal Shrines, especially when it's in the amateur context, I'm asking myself, hey, are we going to get some nice multi-shot? I mean, even on the top level, you get the occasional multi-shot play there too. So let's see. Yeah, Lucio gets banned. Kratodel sitting on the side lane then with the Haka. And Maiev, they're going for another triple frontline here, but that also means that they are not gonna have 2 healers for Vala. So if Vala decides to go into an auto attack build, then she does only have that triple frontline and 1 supporter to keep her safe. So it might be a multi-shot build, or they're just okay to risk that, especially after how game number 1 went. But right now, with Leo looking for the side lane clear, looking for the shrine clear, we need some honest AoE damage also from the red team, of course. So we need to get something done here. I'm still waiting for Gul'dan, for example. Get a mage in, but we get Greymane. Ooh, Oriel. Alright. Okay. Oriel is in the house. This is the moment where you just look at it and it's like, I wish they had Cho'Gall. But no. No Cho'Gall action on this one. But this is another good example of, you know, heroes that you don't see all that often on the top level play. Now, double pick on the blue team side, the final ones. We get Deckard Caden for the support, and Tyrael is going to be the main tank for the team. Played very simply here. But last but not least, red team. I mean, it's match point, right? So it's match point. The KD agents have an opportunity. They can take this now with a 2-0 if they win on Infernal Shrines as well and move on to the winner's match. But what are the clowns pulling off? What's the final play? Bit more damage. Mage maybe. Talked about Gul'dan earlier. Might be a good pick for them. They go for Zeratul. Alright. Zeratul Greymane. So I guess somebody's going to target Vala. And I'm a bit curious to see what she's going to pick in regards to her own talents. And if we're going to get an auto attack build off, it's a multi-shot play. Either way, ladies and gentlemen, let's go Infernal Shrines. Map number 2. Second map, Infernal Shrines. And on the left, we have Kratodel on the Haka. Giblets is playing Deckard Cain. We got White Tiger on Maiev, Simply on Tyrael, and Kani with an auto attack build on Vala. So despite the fact that he's now going up against Greymane and Zeratul, doesn't have a second support, we are seeing Vala with an auto attack style. To be fair, there's a shield from Tyrael, there's probably a Sanctification in play later on too, but still, as hyper carry, no double support. Milama on Greymane. We got Jellyfish on Oriel, Mementos on Zeratul, Elixir on Muradin, and Casado and Lorik. A little bit of role swapping also going on here. This is actually something that is a bit more common when you're looking at the amateur scene. Again, teams here include teams from Division 2 and Division 3. We have for Zeratul, Cleave build. So going also into his AoE, might even go into, I mean, we'll see if he goes for Hybrid or something, but that's actually some play where we could see a Void Prism coming through. Oh, Leoki gets taken down. Yeah, the man is only skin and bones. By the way, I am insanely disappointed with everybody that is watching this currently on YouTube. You guys just suck. I'm sorry, but I have to be honest here for just a moment. In one of the latest videos, I actually brought in some fantastic dad jokes and insanely bad puns. And I was like, alright guys, I have a challenge for you. Come in and post a couple of decent dad jokes into the comments, and I'm gonna actually use them in some of the upcoming games. And you guys just, I mean, I think one guy posted a joke, and it wasn't really a dad joke. It was like a joke that was like half a page long. It was a good one, don't get me wrong, but I'm not gonna read all of that in the game. So you guys suck when it comes to dad jokes. It's actually a sad affair. I was expecting a whole lot more from my YouTube audience, but nope. I'm not even mad. I'm not even mad. I'm just disappointed. I'll give you another chance today. Drop a couple of dad jokes in the comments, and I'll use them in some of the next few streams. But there has to be at least someone out there that has a bad pun or two. I mean, come on. First kills are in. Leo, obviously the first one to die, but then afterwards we had Maiev eliminated. The camp went to the blue team on the other hand, so he got that. And, well, in the meantime, we're now having the side camps taken. Seems like everybody's just going to walk away with one, so in total the blue team is now locked in 2. On level 4, Deckard Cain, the old man with the ruby. And down here, can they actually push for that wall a little bit? They've been doing this extremely well in the first game. They've been always doing a little bit more pressure, a little bit more, went for those walls, started to take them out, and it worked incredibly well for them. So they pulled ahead slowly, steadily, and that allowed them in the end to take a couple of the structures out without having too many problems there. So yeah, actually really well done. Now in the meantime, they're trying to of course emulate that performance in the second game. This is match point for them. This is a chance to win the series. First objective is about to be announced, or is about to be ready, so that's where things are gonna start to slowly get real. And already everybody is starting to rotate down to the bottom of the map. No level 7 talents even inside, by the way. We have topside Leoki going up against the Haka. Down here they're still taking a couple of minion waves out, but nobody is really close to level 7, so I don't think we're going to see that within the course of this fight. But thanks to the AoE that they're holding here, the blue team pulls ahead and has also taken the earlier position pretty much immediately. I mean, instantly going for that and taking that on, so good for them. It's a question of how much more they can do. Yeah, I mean, right now, not too much. I mean, there's nobody that's really contesting them, so they're just being left alone. The idea normally when you do this is that you're trying to side lane push, and there's a little bit of that happening, but it's just not enough. You're getting through the wall, so congratulations, but you have to do way more than that. So down at the bottom of the map, the Punishers at least baited over it, but I think in some, the blue team is going to walk away with way more damage here. At least that would be my assumption. We're not quite there yet, but this could get pretty nasty. So, yeah. Half of the fort is gone, a little bit more thanks to the wave. And the Haka has just defended much better up at the top lane. So, was it too horrible? I mean, honestly, it probably wasn't really the worst thing. If they really felt, hey, we can't fight here or we shouldn't, then fair enough. But if they were planning to trade evenly, then that didn't really work out. So, yeah, kinda unfortunate for them. Yeah, so that didn't really work out here. But okay. So for now, it's just a kill versus a kill. Not much more. That's honestly going on here. We have still an attempt from Zeratul to come in and target, of course, also Vala, who has pretty nice stacks. 69? Oh, nice. Good moves. I mean, we are 5 minutes into the game, so that's a decent stacking progress already on her end. So good job by Vala. Hasn't died yet either, so right now things are actually going pretty well, despite the fact that she only has one support behind her. Greymane went into the Wisdom Duelist and locked that in. Seeker in the dark for Zeratul, and now the push straight up through the bot lane in an attempt to get those mercenaries a bit closer to the fort and take that on. They are also close to level 10 again, so that is the next potential problem. Them starting to lock level 10 in, maybe use that window to go for the fort, that would be another big win. The Haka is still defending at the top and might have a bit of trouble. They've taken a bit of damage there, but just generally still in the driver's seat. But with level 10 abilities, they actually don't push it too much. The window is small, so they didn't really do anything around it. They're just falling back, taking their own camp. We have now the bullet for Greymane. No big surprises or shocks when we're talking about ults. There's the VP, by the way, so we indeed get a Void Prison for Zeratul, as I already said earlier. That's definitely one option for him with that build. It's a bit old school, but still. Might of the Narazim is these days obviously the standard, but if you can still play around the VP, then you can do quite a bit there. Just section off the healer, for example, from the opponent's team, or maybe play around Zeratul in the Sanctification. But currently, Vala just working those auto attacks. A lot of pleb horses over here. Not quite sure what's going on with this. I mean, they're just plebbing away, but yeah, still get the damage with a nice rotation towards the top against the tower. And that's one free tower for them. Vala should probably not linger around too long. But Greymane, no interest apparently to go for a fight. I mean, Greymane should be the one that goes for Red Riding Hood over here. So if it's anyone, then it's going to be the big bad wolf. Vala is already accommodating him by essentially just like going for the red skin here. So if that doesn't get Greymane's juices up, then I don't know what does. With the objective now spawning though, the blue team is again slightly ahead. But they gotta be mega careful. Yeah, Vala, yeah, using Muradin as a pincushion and use him to stack up even further. She's now sitting at 91 stacks. Is very likely gonna get the 100 during that fight, and therefore the second reward on the auto attacks. But there's the VP against 3, nice! And the follow-up with Leo and his ult. Aegis is out, all the ults, everybody turns into a pirate. Arrgh. Press the button. Vala with the stacks, nobody died, that's ridiculous. There's the Tong, and now Muradin might be the first one to fall. He goes down, Muradin eliminated. great job, and that pushes the red team back and gives the KD agents once again control over the shrine at the top. Vala with just damage at this point. I mean, Vala is just getting damage. 19,000 for her, 5,000 ahead of Greymane right now, who's now bottom of the map. But this is gonna be another this is gonna be another Punisher for them. They're gonna get the Punisher here for sure, and then we'll see how much more they can pull off with that, because that topside wall is gone, that fort is exposed, so they should be able to take that thing out. It's a mortar Punisher that we're talking about right now, just to put a little bit of context on this. But should be an ooh, the disc missing Muradin. That's kind of unfortunate for him. Disc misses Muradin, now he gets tethered. Aegis is out. Just as Vala came in with their own ult, and she is still stacking. She is still working those auto attacks. She hasn't lost any of her auto attack speed. Once level 16 hits, she's gonna be even more of a beast. Damn! He comes in, gets a kill, tries to go for the second. They take out Oriel and Zeratul. And a quick reminder, Kenny is playing, to my knowledge, from North America, so even has a ping disadvantage here. None of that to be seen. They move in for Leo, and they drop him as well. The KD agents absolutely crushing it right now. These guys are murdering it. Bottom lane, the Haka is getting more experience for them. It's a 2-level lead. This time at least the red team got a kill, but they are still in mad trouble. This keep might actually fall. If they're really determined to get it, they might have a chance here, but the VP is out again, and now the blue team is slowly getting pressured back. The Haka is not here. This is a 5 versus 4. They will have to fall back, or do they? Because they just turn it around on Greymane and just crush him. Greymane is gone. They're closing in on level 16 at this point. And with the Haka rotating between the lanes, they got even more experience here. So they are looking, I mean, absolutely fantastic here. It's looking great for them. Just hit after hit coming from the blue team. And now that Vala has a level 16 talent, Muradin is a dead dwarf walking or waddling. So yeah, budget Gimli here needs to be careful, because Vala has already been a problem for him. Now that she has Manticore and the attack speed from the Gambit stacks, yeah, good luck, my friend. You're gonna need it. Red team hasn't given up yet, though. They come to the top, they start taking out the top side fort, and they rotate in with Greymane too. That should definitely help them to control this. I don't know if the blue team cares too much. They lose the fort, and that's not great, but they're moving to the middle and take out 1-2. Now, these two are not quite the same. A lot more hit points at the top left, so you could argue there was a win for the red team, but they haven't escaped yet. So they're still trying to get away here. Yeah, good Stormbolt for Muradin. That stops the Haka in his tracks, and that was important. He's been landing some good tongs, and if you get hit here again, that might cost one of the players his life. But they were able to at least get out for now. So 18,000 for Zeratul, top damage dealer on the side of the Dancing Clowns. Next objective should be announced fairly soon. Still that 2-level advantage, and obviously the talent lead is probably, I mean, even more problematic, you know what we're seeing here. But yeah, they're starting to go from camp to camp, top left. The Haka is taking care of it down here at the bottom of the map. Deckard, Kane, and Vala. Vala at 147 stacks now on a level 1. And again, as long as she has the auto attack speed, just the combo between auto attack speed and Manticore is already amazing. If she can stack her level 1 more, get more more damage in, I mean, even better. But already that's like a winning game for them. So the shrine is activating, and there's no fort left for the clowns, which means that they don't have a fountain. They can't just fall back during a fight, tap the fountain, re-engage. It's going to be much more difficult for them, whereas the red team has two, the blue team has 2. But at least there's the level 60 talents now, so it's an even fight on talent here. For Zeratul, that means Void Slash, so the build is coming together for him. Leo is getting the Mithril Maze. And yeah, the only question is, can they win that fight? Because this is a little bit of a I mean, it's not quite a do-or-die moment, but they have to do something here. There needs to be some kind of win eventually. Granted, they got a kill this time, but they need a few more if they really want to turn this around. And the blue team already has 20 stacks to their name. So they're leading on the objective quite significantly as the... Oh, nice whip into the wall. Yeah, but Deckard Kane with the ult. Eagers to counter. Deckard low. They want him. And they get him. They bully the old man first. They discovered the weak link. Now they take the Haka down. That's a double kill. Yes, Leo is dead too, but that's actually pretty nice. Vala, on the other hand, she still wants it. Vala comes in and just says, like, you know what? I'm going to do this myself. She has a death wish, if you ask me. Kenny is very ambitious here and pays the price. 5-man team wipe. The entire team gets crushed, and honestly, rightfully so. Vala in particular, I mean, come on, dude. At some point, you just gotta accept that this isn't happening. But yeah, they went deep on this, and then Zeratul just said, wait a second. Do I see free experience? Well, let's go and take it. So, yep. First objective for the red team. And now they gotta do something here. What are you doing? Push! Take the fort out! I'll let you slide if you go into the middle and try to take two at the same time, but don't waste your time with mercenary camps at this point. You gotta push, you gotta do damage. This is your window. You have a 5 versus 2 on the map. Come on and take them. Have you seen any dancing, by the way, after they got the kills in the 5-man wipe? They're called dancing clowns. Where's my B-steps? I want some B-steps, I want some dances, some taunts. Like, give me something. If you bait me with a team name like this, you need to deliver. Ja, no. Abzüge in der B-Note. Vala at the bottom of the map, easy defense. I'm not happy with the clowns here. I think they just wasted this a bit. They should have gotten more. You get a 5-man wipe against your opponent. You get the objective, and all you get is 1 fort? Come on, boys. You're better than that. Well, maybe you aren't, but you should be. Like, at least take the second fort in the middle. Even if you don't get it, at least damage it. They did great in the fight. I mean, awesome fight by them. Brought them back. We're now 20 versus 20. They got 7 kills to 6. But this should have made more of a dent. They had a huge chance to take a bigger lead here. And I don't want to say they threw it away. They still got something out of it. But, yeah, they should have gotten more. Be it as it may, it's more of an even game now. Nobody has lost a keep yet. There is still a chance that they are coming back into this. And with back, I mean that they are coming back into the series. That they're able to, like, win the entire thing. With level 20 talents, we got the Farflight Quiver. Battle Arena or Holy Arena for Tyrael. Aegis got upgraded, so we got the Diamond Resolve now. Rewind, upgrade obviously also for Leo, and then Tooth and Claw for Greymane. A couple of powerful talents are definitely here. Leo is soon done with his level 16. Sitting at 88 stacks now. And you can tell that the blue team is a bit more, shows a little bit more respect after that 5-man wipe. But to be honest, they kind of asked for it. Yeah, they kind of asked for it. Especially Vala. Vala was just like, I got this. And it was like, no. Oh, boy. So, yeah. All the way, top left. Still a few camps to claim. And the red team is getting more aggressive with their stance on the map. They're a bit more out there now. Okay, they want to deal with the top lane. For a second I was like, what? I was like, alright. That's usually something where I would have said Leo is going to take care of that and is then going to ghost over. But, yeah. Now, seems like everybody is currently on a bit of a non-aggression pact, and they just decided to wait for the next objective and then try and decide the game during the objective. That seems to be the general consensus between the teams. Like, what if we wait? What if we just play around the next objective here? Damage numbers now, 28,000 for Greymane, so he has taken over on the red team's side. Zeratul was previously the top damage dealer. 42,000 for Vala. So, yeah. And let's go. Are we getting another big win for the Clowns? Or are the KD Agents now just putting the final nail into the coffin? The lead goes to the blue team. So they have the early ones. But that team is still slowly taking over. Vala, 178, 180 stacks now. Good damage from her. Focuses Muradin. Gets a bit more in. They have the lead still on the objective. Muradin up at the front. Here comes the ult. And the VP in the back. The ults essentially cancelling each other out. Big VP though against 3-4 heroes. But that was, at least at first, a great setup for Vala to dish out the damage. But then, of course, the VP just shut that down. Now the whole arena has also been used. Everybody has thrown their ult out with the exception of Muradin, who still has Avatar. But it's getting quite chaotic over here. Zeratul, though, gets crushed by Vala. That's a big hit. Zeratul is dead, so is Tyrael, but he gets the explosion through. Frozen Punisher, and now Vala on the cleanup job. Coming in for Leoric, dropping him, and Vala's just going ham on this. Vala comes in, takes down Oriel. That's only 2 defenders left. Greymane barely makes it past the gate, but this is likely going to be game. With only 2 defenders and 3-4 heroes that can still push, plus a Frozen Punisher that did not get baited over the wall. There's a chance to now make this a 2-0 victory. And this is exactly what they're playing for. This is exactly where they're currently headed. Here comes the Aegis. They're going for Muradin. And he just melts away. Muradin without a chance gets absolutely crushed here. Vala with 228 stacks has now 69,000 damage. Nice. And yes, she's just too strong on the auto attacks on the single target damage by now. The KD Agents, they move on to the winners match of Group A, and the Dancing Clowns drop into the losers match. Nicely done, great performance from the blue team as they lock in the 2-0 victory on Infernal Shrines. GG.
Thank you everybody for watching the video today. I hope that you enjoyed the show and the commentary. And keep in mind that the spoiler protection that is going to run for the rest of the video is made possible by all the support on patreon.com. So guys, if you want to support my work, if you want to help me start new projects and keep the spoiler protection in place, please consider heading over to patreon.com/Khaldor. There's also a link in the YouTube description, and check that out. Thanks in advance, and see you guys next time with more esports coverage here on Khaldor TV. Have a great day.